The relocation of the Doral Energy to Waste Incinerator has now been deferred, guys, a third time, leaving us, many of us, frustrated and searching for hours, for answers. Good morning, and welcome to Building Connections Doral Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez, and today I'm addressing a critical issue that has impacted our community for over a year now. And this ongoing issue or debate, it is tied to health, safety, and the future of our neighborhood, and it deserves our attention. In this episode, we'll break down the timelines and the reasons behind these delays and the implications for Doral residents. So let's get going. I want to start by sharing my screen because I actually want to show you guys some of the timelines and some of the problems that we've been having right here at home. So let's talk about timelines, okay? So this started back in, February 12th, 2023, when the incinerator right here that's in Doral on 74th and between 87th and 97th Avenue took fire. It got on fire, and guys, this fire lasted for 3 weeks, affecting the health of the residents around the area. Luckily, our family were far away from it, or far enough where we were not in danger. However, we shop, we do exercise, we do our lives around here, and obviously it will affect everyone that lives here or visit us, especially the people that live right adjacent to it. Okay, so this is some of the controversy that some people are having. And this is some of the things that I hear people say, which all of it, it makes sense, right? I could see why some people say one thing, and I could see why some people say something else. And this is what people say. Well, the incinerator was there before the houses were built. Okay, that's understandable. So and this is what I hear. Well, when they bought the house, they knew the incinerator was there. So they knew the risks that they were taking. Yes and no. Okay. So this is what happened. A lot of the people that bought for those of you that don't know or might not be aware, a lot of people buy properties right here in Florida as sight unseen. They just buy it because they're buying it from their country and they're waiting to buy here. And while they sold the properties, some people were not being disclosed that they were that close to the an incinerator. Okay. Now, I'm not a politician. I'm not a health environmentalist or anything like that. I'm not in the health department. I'm only saying what I believe is true. And then you guys educate me or let me know your opinions, what you know about this in the comments below. Just let's help each other have a conversation around this because it really is in the heart of all of us, the residents of Doral. But I also want to talk about, like I said, the timelines and the delays and the other areas that they were recommending to put this incinerator. And then you let me know what you think it would be best. And if it's also going to affect other citizens in other cities. And of course, nobody wanted it in the backyard, but let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. That's what I want to talk about. So like I said, he started on February 12th, 2023. Now it's over a year and a half, to be honest. And then, like I said, it burned for 3 weeks, causing a lot of health problems. They actually did a study on this, and that was done in June 1st, 2023 by Earthwise. Let me see the name of them. I don't want to mess it up. Earthjustice. Earthjustice did a new report, and they detailing the Florida residents, what they went through during 3 weeks of Cavanta Waste Incinerator fire. So if you guys want it, I will leave it on the description below so that you can go through it yourself. Okay. So that's what happened. So then they came up with some sites where they wanted to have this incinerator relocated to, and it was 4 of them. One of them's leaving it right here in Doral. Okay. And that was going to take place on November 6th of this year, November 6th, 2024, which it was not done. It got delayed. So now let's see. Let me share my screen so that we can see exactly. Hopefully you can see here. So this is the places, okay? So One of the ones that were suggested was Airport. Airport West was recommended. Airport West side is the county's proposal entails developing roughly 180 acres of the total site. The site is accessible within a 10-minute drive to US 27 or Florida Turnpike, right here. This is one of the sites. And I believe it's also one of the sites that is farther away from actually residential area. And then the other side was Resource Recovery Facility. The existing solid waste resource recovery facility in Doral is one of the 4 relocations under considerations. Like I said, it is right here, guys. It is between 74th Street and it's on 74th Street between 97th Avenue and 87th Avenue. This is where it was, it burned. And then the other side is Medley. Now, if you tell me from Doral to Medley, I don't like either or for our residents, okay? Because it is right, if you see this is 106, this is Northwest 116th Way, Northwest 107th Avenue. It's right here. It's just as close. So Medley's site is comprised of multiple privately owned parcels and offer an ample space to accommodate alternative facilities based on spatial constraints. Okay. And then the other one is Okeechobee. The Okeechobee side is comprised of approximately 65 privately owned acres and include a lamb swamp offered to the county. And it is located east of US 27th Okeechobee Road between Northwest 178th Street and Northwest 182nd Avenue. Right here, guys. So these were the sites. Now, the problem is that some of these are very close to still residential areas. I think this one is close to Miramar, and the residents there don't want it as well. Okay, so let's see. Let me stop sharing. So this is, remember when I said that a lot of people were talking about, well, you knew that you were buying close to a landfill or an incinerator when you bought the property. Well, that is one argument. The next argument is that area was considered a residential area by the Miami-Dade County, not by Doral City. That was decided by the Miami-Dade County. So Miami-Dade County decided to build houses right next to it, right? So this was a conflict of interest. Maybe they should have left it as an industrial area to where, and again, guys, like I said, I'm not a politician. I'm just a real estate agent. I'm giving you my observations. So you can leave the comments below. So if you knew as a county that you have an incinerator and it is a risk or health hazard to the people living near that, and then you are authorizing the city to build residential housing, a person that's an investor, the one to build houses and get a profit, they will do that all day long, regardless of the health hazard, because as a county, you said it was okay to build houses there. And then some people will, knowing or without knowing, will purchase a house there. And whether they do or not, it does have, whether they knew as a resident or as an owner that they were buying an incinerator, that doesn't mean that everybody knows the risks or health hazard. It is almost, how can I say this? It is irresponsible to do this, to put this conflict of interest in an area that is growing and everybody wants to move into, to then tell the citizens you should have known better, even though we decided to name that a residential area. We did it, but you should have never bought in there. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay, and then this is what's crazy to me. They're saying that the reason that they don't want to relocate it from Doral, even though they were going to vote on it, they were going to vote. Now the vote, let me let you hear. At one point, it was a vote to decide where. And then later on, our Miami-Dade County mayor decided to just, that's it. They decided without a vote. Then it went back to being a vote and it's deferred to February 19th of 2025. Without a vote, because I said it's going to be too costly. I believe it might be too costly. However, they want Doral to foot the bill. That doesn't make any sense. This is a county waste facility. It wasn't our decision to put it in Doral. And then it wasn't our decision that you decided to put the residential area around the incinerator for you to now ask us if you don't want it, then you have to pay for it. That's kind of crazy to me. If people are going to pay, then everybody has to pay because it is a share facility for the county as an act. We've already paid taxes and we pay our non-ad valorem taxes to pay this. It shouldn't just be the city of Doral. If you don't want it there, let's charge you. And other questions, I have many questions. If he went on fire, what happened to the insurance money? Was that place not insured? So they didn't get money to get rebuilt. And I know they're talking about for extra costs incurring because of the extra miles that they're going to drive to the new place and all of that. I get that. But that is probably the price that you have to pay for people's health or your citizens. I don't know. You tell me, these are just questions that pop into my head that I want to share with you. And hopefully you can help me be more educated and then all of us educate each other. So let me go and share my screen, like I said, and continue to talk about this. I think this is okay.
With explaining to your residents why they have to pay more. I can explain that I was against that.
And that was the main complaint from Commissioner Oliver Gilbert. He stated if Doral was the least expensive option, residents from other municipalities will pay for building it somewhere else. Commissioner Eileen Higgins is worried about what that means for residents in the city of Miami, which is her district.
The minimum extra money they would pay is $36 million over that time period, and it could be as high as $90 million.
There's an expense involved to everything. So I don't know how expensive it's going to be to maintain it in Doral into perpetuity. And as a Doral resident, I just don't want it there.
Is Doral totally out of the picture?
No, definitely not. The sites are all still on the table.
Now, again, why does Doral have to pay for that extra cost? Why us? That doesn't even make sense to me. First of all, the incinerator burned. We didn't, as a city, decided to go and burn it. The reason that it burned, it might have been because it was not a facility for what it was. It was too old, and it wasn't operating at the capacity that it should have operated. And I have to be honest, I agree with our mayor that the facility is not big enough for growing Miami-Dade County, not to mention Doral. So I just don't know how this is going to pan out and how they're going to come up with a better solution. But watch this. This was decided by our mayor. Let me see if I can find it where it was decided by her to have it done here. Let me share with you. And then they shifted the.
We had already decided to take
2 weeks ago, the mayor recommended keeping the incinerator in Doral.
It's just too expensive to go to another location.
Talk of relocating the facility started last year when the existing one was destroyed by a fire. 4 areas had been proposed, including the current Doral location, a site in Medley, and 2 sites near the Miami-Dade Broward County western border. The mayor says she recently met with environmentalists who asked for alternative options.
And so one of the options that we had looked at, but we're going to look at again, is the possibility of more landfilling, not necessarily locally. So we're looking at all options, and I think it's appropriate to take a little more time.
The likely decision to defer is welcome news by those affected, like the city of Doral and its mayor, Christy Fraga.
I think that this is a step in the right direction.
Fraga said,
again, this has going back and forth, and now we are deferred again to February. I believe you guys have enough. I don't know what the right answer is. I know as a city of Doral, I'm going to be biased. I don't want it in my backyard. I also know that other members of other cities like Hialeah Gardens and Miramar don't want it on their backyard as well because of health concerns, as already explained. And then I understand that that is a cost, an extra cost to us to move it. But you tell me, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to pay more to have a cleaner air by where we live, for us, for our children? Or what is your opinion? I don't know. I don't know. Let me see what else I want to cover here. I think I have it. I have it done. So one of the controversies right now that is being raised is that while the incinerator was there before, some of the housing areas that was built around it, the Blue Monster Golf and Spa was there before, which used to be the Doral Golf Resorts was there, and which is now owned by the Trump family. And the families are arguing that they were there also before the incinerator was built. And now there has been the talks. I don't know what's going to come out of it. Again, I'm not a politician and I don't plan to be or care to be. And I don't know anything about the health. I'm going to leave the reports of what came out of the incinerator incidents where it went on fire last year, or what could happen to the residents that were affected. Again, guys, thank you again for tuning in. This is Building Connections Doral Talks. I'm your host, Betty Gonzalez. I appreciate you tuning in every Thursday. Have a great day and have a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. And let me know what you think about this. And let's keep on seeing and following this to see what the outcome will be. I truly hope we can get it right here in Doral. If not, hey, we'll see what options they'll have. Take care and see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Real quick, calling all Doral professionals, entrepreneurs, and community influencers. Are you ready to showcase your business, share your knowledge and experience with our engaged audience? Building Connections Doral Talks invites you to become a guest speaker on our podcast. Share your unique perspectives and inspiring stories with our listeners. We believe in the power of your voice in shaping that conversations right here in Doral. Click the link below to submit your information and be part of our next episode. Join us in building connections, sharing knowledge, and growing together. Don't miss this opportunity to be a featured guest on Building Connections Doral Talks. Tune in, connect, share, and grow together with Building Connections Doral Talks, reshaping the way we engage with the diverse voices of Doral, one guest at a time. Doral Talks, your voice, our community. Click the link now on the show notes, the screen, or in the comments below, or just scan the QR code to submit your information as a guest. I hope to see you soon. See you in the next podcast. Bye.